Hello MotoGP fans. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Pramac Racing's Paolo Campinoti has been talking about the team's recent choices, from switching suppliers to handling rider moves, and his comments lift the lid on a turbulent few years behind the scenes. Campinoti reflects on Jorge Martín's decision, Marc Márquez's rejected offer, and Pramac's new mission with Yamaha. Valentino Rossi opened Pertamina Enduro VR46's 2026 presentation with a mix of ambition and realism. The team's aim is clear: chase its first MotoGP win, while also building a stronger, more consistent package across weekends. MotoGP legend Giacomo Agostini has shared his outlook for the 2026 season, and his verdict is clear. Marc Márquez starts the year as the benchmark, but with strong words also reserved for Toprak Razgatlioglu's transition and a possible revival from Pecco Bagnaia. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Campinoti began by recalling the moment Jorge Martín chose to stay, a decision he calls a sign of destiny that forced the team to adapt quickly. That twist opened pathways for Pramac to make bold, unconventional choices in later years, and it set the tone for a team culture that treats setbacks as opportunity rather than defeat. The fact that he stayed with us was, for me, a great sign of destiny. That sense of fate, Campinoti suggests, has helped the team frame difficult choices as moments to reinvent rather than retreat. Campinoti was frank about Pramac's self-image. While no one would refuse a rider of Marquez's caliber, the team has proved it can deliver top-level success on its own terms. He argued Pramac's recent titles and team achievements demonstrate a resilience and capability that doesn't hinge on a single superstar's arrival. "We have shown that, even without him, important results can be achieved." That claim is both defensive and proud, a way of saying Pramac's identity and value are not dependent on hiring the most famous name available. Campinoti pulled no punches about a delicate transfer saga. He revealed that Marc Márquez was a genuine option for Pramac, a move that ultimately fell through, and accused Ducati of reneging on earlier understandings when negotiations shifted. According to Campinoti, Martín's swift decision to sign elsewhere created personal rifts and a chain reaction of choices that reshaped the market. It was possible. He rejected the offer, and Ducati practically went back on what they had said. That blunt line hints at the messy human and political side of seat deals, where loyalties, timing, and ego can alter the shape of an entire paddock. Finally, Campinoti explained Pramac's logic in switching to Yamaha. The team wants to repeat the arc they helped create with Ducati, nurture the manufacturer, collaborate closely, and rise together. He framed the Yamaha partnership as a conscious strategic pivot, not retreating from past success, but attempting to recreate it in a new context and bring the tuning fork brand back to the front. "We've decided to take a different path with Yamaha to bring Yamaha back to the top and repeat the journey we made with Ducati. That's an ambitious play. Invest time, influence development, and aim to climb with your supplier rather than simply ride the coattails of an established frontrunner." Paolo Campinoti's remarks sketch Pramac as a team that's learned to convert upheaval into strategy, whether coping with superstar moves, rebuffed offers, or a full factory switch. The message is clear: Pramac doesn't need to be a satellite for fame, it aims to be a creator of momentum. With Toprak joining and Miller staying, the coming season will test whether that Yamaha gamble can reproduce the partnership magic Pramac once found with Ducati. Rossi made no secret of his priority. VR46 wants to convert podiums into victories. After steady progress in previous seasons and a third-place finish in the team standings, the team is pushing to take the next step. Rossi framed victory as a qualitative leap, something that changes everything for a squad and validates the cumulative work of riders, engineers, and management. "The first thing we want is to try and win." That goal will shape preparations, setups, and race strategies across the season, a clear North Star for everyone involved. Rossi was frank about the scale of the task. MotoGP's margins are tight and every team faces hard weekends. Success comes from steady performance across all circuits. The plan for 2026 is therefore twofold: be competitive every weekend, and reduce the volatility that cost points last year. For Rossi, building reliability and weekend-to-weekend consistency are as essential as outright pace. MotoGP is difficult for everyone. That admission is a reminder that ambition must be backed by discipline, during testing and race weekends alike. On a lighter note, Rossi teased the team's fresh visual identity: more aggressive, more racing-oriented, and leaning into the classic yellow that has defined his career. The shift away from white to a darker palette has practical benefits for the mechanics and symbolic value for the team's image, a statement that VR46 wants to be instantly recognizable and to project confidence on the grid. This is the third season we've used a lot of yellow, because for us, yellow is our color. It has been throughout my history. The new livery is part branding, part psychology, a visual reinforcement of the team's desire to stand out and push forward. Rossi balanced short-term focus with long-term planning. While 2026 demands concentrated effort to be consistently competitive, he's already mindful of 2027 rule changes and the need to prepare for them. With Ducati as their partner, Rossi expressed confidence that the factory will be ready for whatever comes, but emphasized that VR46 must keep improving across the board to turn podiums into wins. The goal is for everyone to work better and try to be competitive every weekend. This will be a unique season. You have to be very focused on 2026, but at the same time you already have to think about 2027. That dual focus sets the team's roadmap: maximize the present while preparing for regulatory change. Valentino Rossi's message at the VR46 launch was both aspirational and pragmatic: win a race, be consistently competitive, and build toward a future when new rules shape fresh opportunities. With a striking new livery, retained momentum from past seasons, and a clear team mission, VR46's 2026 campaign will be one to watch. Can Rossi's philosophy of steady improvement finally yield that first MotoGP victory? Agostini closely followed Pramac Racing's presentation and paid special attention to Toprak Razgatlioglu, one of the biggest talking points of 2026. The Italian legend acknowledged the challenge of moving from World SBK to MotoGP, describing the premier class as more complex and demanding. Still, he underlined that pure talent often finds a way to shine, regardless of machinery or category. He's proven to be very good in Superbike. Of course, MotoGP is more difficult, but if the talent is there, he'll succeed there too. For Agostini, patience will be key. Early races will reveal how quickly Toprak adapts to MotoGP's unique demands. Toprak's move also triggered memories for Agostini of his own jump between categories. While acknowledging similarities, he stressed an important distinction: his own transition came from Grand Prix racing, not superbikes. That difference, Agostini insists, may be subtle on paper but significant in practice, especially when adapting to riding styles, tires, and race dynamics. I came from Grand Prix motorcycle racing, while he comes from superbikes. The message is clear: success is possible, but the learning curve should not be underestimated. When the discussion turned to championship favorites, Agostini left no room for doubt. As the reigning world champion, Marc Márquez enters 2026 as the reference point for the entire grid. While Agostini stopped short of declaring the title decided, he highlighted Márquez's experience, mental strength, and proven ability to deliver from the opening round. Right now he's the best. He's the world champion and therefore the man to beat. Agostini expects Márquez to arrive fully prepared, setting the tone for what could be one of the most competitive seasons in years. Agostini also addressed Pecco Bagnaia's difficult 2025 season, urging perspective rather than doubt. According to the Italian legend, Bagnaia's struggles are more mental than technical, a blow to confidence after early setbacks. However, Agostini emphasized that true champions do not lose their talent overnight, and time may be the key ingredient for a comeback. Bagnaia is a great rider and has won world championships. He didn't get them by chance. With renewed confidence, Bagnaia could once again become a major force in the title fight. Finally, Agostini looked further into the future, acknowledging the uncertainty surrounding 2027 and the upcoming regulation changes. With bike development still unknown and manufacturer hierarchies yet to be reshaped, even Marquez's long-term path remains open-ended. It's difficult, because we don't know what the bikes will be like in 2027. For Agostini, adaptability, from riders and factories alike, will define the next era. Giacomo Agostini's verdict paints a clear picture of MotoGP in 2026. Marc Márquez as the benchmark, Toprak Razgatlioglu as the great unknown, and Pecco Bagnaia as a champion with unfinished business. With talent spread across the grid and uncertainty looming beyond the horizon, the stage is set for a fiercely competitive world championship. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!